What's up, guys? Welcome to another video of Dev Talks with your host Travian, where we talk about everything engineering technology wise. In this video, we're actually going to talk about Fiverr, and Fiverr CEO came out with an announcement about AI taking a bunch of jobs. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and let's dive right in.
There's lots of talk about artificial intelligence and concerns that it could make many people's jobs obsolete. Well, the CEO of Fiverr, that's a platform that connects freelancers and companies looking to hire them, sent this email to his employees last month. And as you see there, it says in part, quote, "AI is coming for your jobs. Heck, it's coming for my job too. This is a wake-up call." Michal Kaufman is the CEO and joins us now to talk about the future of AI and the workplace. You know, as much traction as this email has received, you've really stirred up the comment section. It's been a popular refrain in the past few years. So give our viewers a bit of a pulse check. How alarmed should people be that AI is already here?
Well, it's absolutely here. And you know, I think the email came at the backdrop of our employees that are wondering if they have a future in their professions. And they weren't really waiting for my email. And if anything, this email was a validation of the things that they feel. And it was all about, talking openly and directly to our team like grown-ups. They're not kids. They don't need to sugarcoat anything. And they really needed the validation that their fears are valid, but also a leadership perspective of what they can do about it.
And let's talk more.
I think it's great as far as a leadership perspective of how honest and direct that this actual CEO is. A lot of CEOs aren't as direct as this. They're not, or if they are, if they do give you some sense of direct, it's like really in an indirect way when they're saying it, especially at tech firms. When a lot of those CEOs that we see on the news and everything, when they're talking about stuff, they're just talking about AI and the products and everything, but they're not direct to their people. That's why Microsoft does all these layoffs. I mean, all these companies are struggling financially now, quote unquote, financially struggling in some way or another. But one of the things I want to get to really quick is this message here talking about it doesn't matter if you're a programmer, designer, product manager, lawyers and everything. I believe all of this is going to come along with how are these people going to better use technology and stuff. There's a video I want to actually cover about a doctor who was saying, oh, AI is going to replace his job because it's able to detect something. For lawyers, maybe it just cuts down on the cost that they have on paralegals and stuff and research time. It might cut down on research costs and make it more easier to build cases together to where they can do work and things. But we're all going to need a valid set of eyes. And I'm going to talk about this more in another video that's more related to this actual topic, that of getting better with AI and stuff, or even if they talk about it in this interview, who knows. We'll dive more into the information, what I'm saying, but just getting more familiar with it to boost your efficiency and everything is going to be the biggest boost for yourself.
How can someone who believes their job will be made obsolete by AI, how can they differentiate themselves to make themselves useful, I guess, to be able to work with these AI systems?
Yeah. So look, I think that the way I'm looking at this from an executive standpoint is, I think we were given with superpowers, but this should reflect in how people work. So my expectations are double or triple the output per unit of time, and the same for the quality per unit of delivery. And the reality is that since, what we're seeing with these tools, the reality of businesses and products is that no one has a crystal ball. So if no one has the advantage of knowing where this is going, our main advantage is speed. It's our ability to move faster. So what I told the team is I want to reduce the cost of.
So, like, what did I say? It's about being more efficient and everything. His expectations are people to move 3 times faster, in a sense where they can go from a certain amount of time frame and cut it down extremely more. But these are some of the points that they put out to help keep your jobs and everything, and they have it all sourced here. So the biggest thing is becoming a prompt engineer. And what I'm going to get more into this about searching and everything in another video that we have to cover, but becoming a prompt engineer is being able to write prompts correctly to get the information that you're looking for from AI. There's people who can use AI but not use it effectively. We're not put in the correct prompts to return the values and information that they're trying to get out. You need to be able to write prompts, and the best way to get better at writing prompts is just using it. And you could do this for free on Gemini, OpenAI, ChatGPT, Anthropic, all of them. You can use all of these AI tools to get better at prompting and seeing what it outputs and it returns. And mind you, these AI tools are going to escalate and get better too. They're going to have updates. They're going to grow. The models are going to grow. They're going to get better. So as time goes on, you need to just continuously be using it to be able to become this prompt engineer to be able to return the right results. And this is where the human aspect comes in. You need to be able to identify that these results are correct. Yes, a person, don't be worried about a person. I mean, in some cases, there can be mistakes that are going to be made, right? There can be mistakes where they let a person, like at that Google event, I had to private that video, and I most likely might redo that video another time later down the road about Gemini or something. I have to just figure out the sound stuff with that. But the main thing that I'm saying, like, they can have a person who is not as skilled as you, say as an engineer or something, and there's a person who doesn't know how to code at all or anything. They can ask AI all they want to build them out a program, and it will get somewhat close maybe, but they don't know all the details of, is this correct? Am I testing this correctly or whatnot? Am I properly doing that? You need to be that expert as well as with the results that AI is giving it. Because I remember when part of one of my jobs, you try to use ChatGPT for script writing a script somewhere, like for a specific function thing I was trying to figure out or whatnot. And when I was looking at what it returned, it didn't return what was correct. It didn't return something that was working properly. So you have to like tailor it in a ways to get it to correctly work and output correctly. And I was doing this as a testing on how we can better use AI as engineers and stuff. And maybe I might do a video on that on my personal channel, but that is like one of the biggest things. The other things that are going to make you stand out are just studying AI and researching it apparently here, and finding solutions to help advance your field. Like, what are ways that you can automate your position? And we're gonna get I seen part of this video, and we're gonna kind of get into this more later at the end. But what are ways to automate your position and make it easier for you to do other work and getting involved in your org more? It's all about efficiency. How can you make what your day-to-day work and jobs more efficient in this case?
It's our ability to move faster. So what I told the team is I want to reduce the cost of error. You know, if something used to take us 3 months to build and then fail, because a lot of the things that we do try end up failing, today we can test things in 3 days. So by reducing the cost of error, we can do much more to find out the things that are working, and the team should support this. And my overarching message was, in an ideal situation, I want everyone to automate 100% of what they're doing. And that might raise the question, will that make them replaceable? And my answer is absolutely not, because it's on the contrary. When you have all of your time free because you're not doing the technical things that you can automate, you free up your time to do things that human beings have special capabilities in, which is like nonlinear thinking, judgment calls, issues that have to do with taste, making decisions, thinking about strategy. And I think that there is one thing that people get wrong about AI, and that is that it doesn't really replace us. It actually forces us to rediscover our humanity, the things that we are special in, the special attributes of every person, their special powers. and automate the things that are just wasting some of our times as, acting as technicians.
Yeah, it's a great point that you make. And I tend to think that because AI will do all the boring stuff, it's even more important for people to bring their experiences, bring their life perspective to their roles in order to demonstrate the difference. Michal Kaufman really.
And this is one of the things that I really want to put another point apart as far as automation. From personal experience, when you're working on projects, sometimes a process just becomes repetitive at a point. There's no more that you're going to grow in this process. You're not going to learn anything more out of keep on repeating this process over and over again. You got it down to a T. Hey, maybe the company goes out and hires other people to just do the cheaper labor for them to just do this process, because now it's at such an easy point now that other people can do this process now. And now you, after you train them on that process, now you're freed up to now, how can I make this process more efficient? Are there steps in this process that I can automate better? And there's other things that you can work on when your hands aren't tied just doing this repetitive action. So in that aspect, I agree with him 100% on that aspect. It's not automating yourself out of a job, it's automating what is tedious in your job so that you can focus on what you're actually being paid to do. We as engineers are not being paid, believe it or not, for just repeating a task over and over again, and it's the same thing. We're not getting paid for that. It's more on our expertise, our thinking, how we're going to get stuff done, and then are we going to be able to make these processes better? And yes or no. If we're able to do that, then you're going to get more benefits out of it. It's going to be more beneficial for your work, and what more that the company is going to benefit out of it, because you're now more free to work on these things and better it. And I actually think he's a real CEO, like a really good CEO. I would love to have a conversation with him and talk further on it and pick his brain, because he seems so direct and real and truthful, and what his expectations are, what's going to happen, and just the reality of everything, and putting it out there. So I think it's, as far as a lot of like CEOs, when it comes to this part, I feel like a lot of them may not be prepared to like give some of these speeches and things. And I'm not saying any names in particular, but I believe there's ones that are out there that it if he was talking during layoff times or something, like bad times, I feel like a lot more people would be comfortable with the way that he speaks and gives information to his employees rather than some other people. Just putting it out there. Layoffs are always iffy anyways. People are not going to feel secure, but that's my take and beliefs on that aspect as a whole. But without further ado, let me know what you guys really think in the comments down below. I'm interested in what you guys all have to say. I can't wait to respond to everything. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I really appreciate everybody who does all of that, and joins, and really we communicate and we get all of that new information and learn from each other. It's amazing. And if you have any suggestions on anything you want me to react to, send me an email at devtalkspod@gmail.com. That's also going to be in the description down below. Check it out. It has a bunch of information in there and other videos and things. Without further ado, peace. See y'all next time.